Imagine standing before an eager crowd, the silence just before you speak, charged with expectation. Now, what if I told you that the success of your entire speech hinges on the first 30 seconds? Shocking, isn't it? Studies reveal that our brains make lightning-fast judgments within the first 7 seconds of meeting someone or hearing them speak. That's less time than it takes to tie your shoelaces. In today's video, we're not just going to talk about how to start a speech. We're going to revolutionize the way you think about speech openers. Have you ever heard a speech so captivating that it felt like the speaker had cast a spell over the entire room? Or, on the flip side, have you ever witnessed an opener so dull that you could almost hear the collective interest of the audience plummeting? We're here to ensure you're remembered as the former. From the power of a well-told personal anecdote to the pitfalls of starting with an apology, we'll explore the strategies that seasoned speakers use to win over their audiences from word one. We'll dissect the top 5 best and worst ways to start a speech, reveal why some openers work magic while others fall flat, and share tips on crafting your unique opener that resonates and engages. Are you ready to change the way you start your speeches forever? Stay tuned as we unlock the secrets to crafting openers that not only grab attention but also hold it, turning listeners into followers, and followers into fans. Chapter 1. The Power of First Impressions. Have you ever thought about the magic hidden in the first few seconds of a speech? Imagine this. You're standing in front of an eager audience, the spotlight hits, and you've got just a moment to win them over or lose them forever. This isn't just drama. It's the reality of speaking. Studies have shown that our brains form first impressions in a mere 7 seconds. That's all it takes for someone to decide whether they're going to listen to you or start scrolling through their phone. The key to a powerful speech opener lies in understanding this psychological play. It's not just about what you say but how you say it. Your tone, your posture, and even your first few words set the stage for what's to come. Think about Martin Luther King Jr.'s "I Have a Dream" speech. From the moment he started speaking, you knew something monumental was about to unfold. That's the kind of impact you want to aim for. Creating a strong first impression isn't just about impressing your audience, it's about connecting with them. When you start a speech, you're not just sharing information, you're inviting your audience on a journey. The best openers make the audience feel like they're part of something bigger. They promise that, by listening, the audience will gain something valuable, whether it's knowledge, inspiration, or a new perspective. Remember, the beginning of your speech is your chance to make a promise to your audience. It's a promise that their time will be well spent, that you're someone worth listening to. So, how do you craft that perfect opener? It starts with knowing your audience and what appeals to them, then finding a way to deliver that appeal in a compelling, unforgettable manner. Chapter 2. The Top 5 Best Speech Openers. Now that we understand the importance of first impressions, let's dive into the top 5 best speech openers. These are tried and true methods that have captivated audiences time and time again. The provocative question. This opener challenges your audience's assumptions or piques their curiosity. For example, what if I told you that in the next 10 minutes, your view on leadership would change completely? Immediately, your audience is on the edge of their seats, curious about what comes next. The shocking statistic. Starting with a surprising fact can jolt your audience into paying attention. Did you know that 90% of startups fail within the first year? This kind of opener sets the stage for a speech on overcoming odds or innovative success strategies. The powerful quote. Using a quote from a well-known figure can lend authority and emotion to your speech. As Nelson Mandela once said, "It always seems impossible until it's done." This not only inspires but also connects your message with respected wisdom. The humorous anecdote. Humor, when done right, can break the ice and build a quick rapport with your audience. I want to start by telling you about the time I accidentally walked into the wrong conference. Instead of a marketing seminar, I found myself in a room full of clowns. Literally. It's light, relatable, and sets a friendly tone for your speech. The personal story. Opening with a personal anecdote makes your speech immediately relatable. 3 years ago, I stood at the brink of bankruptcy. Today, I'm here to share how hitting rock bottom can sometimes be the best starting point. This approach promises an honest, transformative journey. Chapter 3: Common Pitfalls. What not to do. When it comes to speech openers, knowing what not to do is just as important as knowing what to do. Some approaches can disconnect you from your audience before your message even has a chance. Let's talk about the top missteps to avoid. Firstly, avoid starting with an apology. Opening with, "Sorry, I'm not very good at this," or "I didn't have much time to prepare," sets a negative tone. It lowers audience expectations and diminishes your credibility right from the start. Confidence, even if feigned, is key. Another common mistake is diving too deep, too fast. Starting with complex jargon or overwhelming statistics can confuse your audience, making them feel disconnected. Your opener should be accessible, inviting everyone into the conversation, not just the experts. Also, resist the temptation to begin with a long, drawn-out introduction about yourself. While establishing credibility is important, your audience is there for the value you can offer them, not your life story. Keep it brief and relevant. Overused quotes or clichés can also weaken your opener. If you've heard it 1,000 times, so has your audience. Dictionary defines leadership as, is a surefire way to lose attention. Be original, or if you must use a quote, pick something less expected and more impactful. Lastly, starting without engaging the audience's emotions is a missed opportunity. People connect through feelings. If your opener is dry and lacks emotional appeal, you'll struggle to keep their attention. Whether it's humor, curiosity, or shock, aim to evoke an emotional response. Remember, your speech opener is your first impression. Avoid these pitfalls to ensure it's not only positive but memorable. Chapter 4: Storytelling as an opener. One of the most powerful tools in a speaker's arsenal is storytelling. A well-crafted story can transport your audience, evoke emotions, and make your message stick. Here's why storytelling can be your best opener and how to do it effectively. Humans are hardwired to love stories. From ancient campfires to modern movie theaters, stories have a way of capturing our attention and holding it. When you start your speech with a story, you tap into this age-old fascination. You make your audience more receptive to your message. But not just any story will do. Your opening story should be relevant to your main message, easy to follow, and, above all, authentic. Authenticity builds trust, and trust keeps your audience listening. Share a personal experience that connects to your broader theme, or narrate a historical event with lessons that resonate today. The key to a compelling story is emotion. Don't just recount events. Share how they made you feel. Whether it's the excitement of a breakthrough, the tension of a challenge, or the warmth of a moment of kindness, emotions make your story relatable. They transform your speech from a monologue into an experience. Structure your story with a clear beginning, middle, and end. Start with a hook that draws your audience in. It could be a surprising fact, a provocative question, or a vivid description. Then, develop your story with details that build towards a climax. End with a resolution that ties back to your main message, leaving your audience with a clear takeaway. Remember, storytelling is not about showing off your narrative skills. It's about using narrative to make your message memorable. A story well told is a message well received. Chapter 5: Questions that hook. Starting your speech with a question is a classic and effective strategy. It immediately engages your audience by prompting them to think, reflect, and become curious about where your speech is headed. However, not just any question will do. It has to be a hook. Here's how to craft questions that not only draw in your audience but also set the stage for your message. First, consider the purpose of your speech. What are you trying to convey? Your opening question should align with this purpose, setting a thematic tone. If you're speaking about innovation, for instance, you might ask, when was the last time you did something for the first time? This question isn't just thought-provoking. It primes your audience to think about breaking from routine, which ties into your theme of innovation. The best questions are those that encourage self-reflection or challenge common perceptions. They should be open-ended, avoiding simple, yes, or no, answers. You want your audience to ponder, not just respond. A question like, "What would you do if you weren't afraid?" invites introspection and relates to topics of courage, risk-taking, and personal growth. Your delivery is also crucial. Pose your question with genuine curiosity and pause for a moment to let it sink in. This pause gives your audience time to consider the question, creating a silent dialogue between you and them. It's this moment of reflection that hooks them, as they subconsciously search for their own answers while becoming more invested in hearing yours. Incorporate these strategies into your opening question, and you'll captivate your audience from the very start. Questions have the power to intrigue, inspire, and engage, making them one of the most versatile tools in your opening arsenal. Chapter 6: Quotations that inspire. Opening with a quotation can be a powerful way to begin your speech. The right quote can encapsulate your message, offer wisdom, and lend authority to your words. However, the key is to choose a quote that is not only relevant but also resonates with your audience on a deeper level. When selecting a quote, look for something that directly supports your message but also adds a new dimension to it. For example, if your speech is about perseverance, a quote like, "The only way to do great work is to love what you do," by Steve Jobs could be incredibly impactful. It not only speaks to the value of persistence but also ties in the importance of passion in achieving success. Avoid overused quotes that your audience has likely heard countless times. Instead, seek out lesser-known gems that will surprise and delight them. This doesn't mean you have to scour obscure texts. Sometimes, a fresh perspective on a well-known figure's lesser-quoted words can be just as effective. Also, consider the source of the quote. Choosing a quote from a figure who is respected and admired by your audience can enhance your credibility and the weight of your message. However, ensure that the figure's values align with the message you're delivering. When delivering the quote, do so with reverence and clarity. Briefly introduce the quote to provide context but let the words speak for themselves. After presenting the quote, take a moment to reflect on its significance and connect it back to your broader message. This reflection is where the true power of the quotation lies, not just in the words themselves, but in how they illuminate the path for your speech. By thoughtfully integrating a powerful quotation into your opener, you set a tone of wisdom and depth for your speech, promising your audience an enriching and enlightening experience from start to finish. Chapter 7: Humor that hits the mark. Kicking off your speech with humor can be a game-changer. It disarms your audience, breaks down barriers, and builds an instant connection. But there's a fine line between humor that hits the mark and humor that falls flat or, worse, offends. Here's how to start your speech on a light note while ensuring your humor is inclusive, appropriate, and, most importantly, effective. First, know your audience. What might be hilarious to a group of tech startups could be amiss for a conference of healthcare professionals. Tailor your humor to the interests, experiences, and demographics of your audience. This doesn't mean stereotyping, but rather understanding the general vibe of the group you're addressing. Self-deprecating humor can be a winner, as it shows humility and relatability. For instance, joking about your own morning routine gone awry can be a way to connect on a human level. However, keep it light and don't overshare. The goal is to laugh with your audience, not make them uncomfortable. Use humorous anecdotes or observations that are related to your topic. If you're speaking about innovation, you might quip, "Innovation is seeing what everybody has seen and thinking what nobody has thought. It's like looking at your cluttered garage and seeing a spaceship." This not only brings a smile but also segues neatly into your theme. Avoid controversial or sensitive topics. Humor should never come at the expense of others' feelings or societal issues. The best humor uplifts and unites, rather than divides. Chapter 8: Shocking statistics. Nothing grabs attention quite like a shocking statistic. It's a powerful opener that can surprise your audience, highlight the significance of your topic, and set the stage for your arguments. Here's how to leverage startling facts to create a compelling start to your speech. Choose a statistic that is directly relevant to your main message and offers a fresh perspective on a familiar issue. For example, if your speech is about digital privacy, you might start with, "Did you know that 75% of smartphones are vulnerable to privacy breaches?" This immediately highlights the urgency and relevance of your topic. When presenting the statistic, emphasize its surprising nature. A slight pause before revealing the number can build anticipation, making the impact even stronger. But remember, the statistic should not just shock, it should also enlighten. Follow it up with an explanation or insight that ties it back to your main message, showing why this statistic matters. Ensure your statistic is accurate and cite your source. Credibility is crucial, especially when you're using data to make a point. A dubious statistic can undermine your entire speech, so stick to reliable, respected sources. Use the statistic as a springboard for your narrative. After presenting it, delve into the implications, challenges, or solutions related to your topic. This keeps your audience engaged and demonstrates the depth of your understanding and research. Incorporating a shocking statistic into your opener can be a potent strategy, but it's essential to use it responsibly. It should illuminate, not manipulate, guiding your audience to a deeper understanding of your subject matter. With the right approach, a startling fact can turn an average speech into a compelling call to action.